Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. This is John with Tommy's Top Picks here to bring you your weekly Pokemon market update. We're getting into the swing of things here. The data's coming in nice and smoothly. I now feel like I have my process down and things are coming together. So I really do appreciate those of you who are sticking it out through the challenging hiccups as they happen. But yeah, we're getting this underway, and I think I'm gonna convert Flesh and Blood over to this process as well, and I might even add something else in the future. I'm not sure yet. But there's some stuff in Magic that I might want to track, like collector boxes. It's something that I will continue to buy, and I have always been relatively data agnostic on that. The thought process historically, and I've talked about this on a couple of different episodes of things. Was just that if you buy it, it will go up eventually. You know, with the way the Magic, the Gathering markets are right now, it may not be so easy or so smart, honestly. Looking for those Amazon deals and things like that. So there may be a way I can use data to help me decide when to go in. You've probably heard me lament about wanting to buy Brothers War or this or that or whatever, and not knowing when to buy it because it's definitely a factor. Some things go up and stay up, some things come down, some things crash, and there's a lot of in between. So I think data is the way to make those decisions, and I don't have to lament anything. I'll know exactly what to do and when to do it, and I won't feel bad when I miss the mark because I will be doing what the data is telling me to do, and that's as good as you can get. So, anyways, moving on to Pokemon. Let's jump in. There's a lot of stuff happening in the market today. It was pretty exciting week, I would say. Just for everyone's edification, I am recording this on Monday. I do this with both market updates these days. It's just easier for me to record a day in advance. So if prices have changed, I apologize. By the time you hear this, it's possible. I I mean, I honestly don't think it will because Pokemon's a really stable market, but it does happen for Flesh and Blood every once in a while. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button, share, hit the share link button. Even if you don't share it, that does help the algorithm. Leave a comment. I do like interacting with you guys. We're starting to get a fair amount of traffic to these, so I think this is gonna continue on unless I hear otherwise. So. If you really don't like the content, please leave a comment. Let me know. I do want to know. So let's jump in. All right. So nothing much to talk about in the booster box until we get down to Darkness Ablaze. Darkness Ablaze booster box jumped 11%, 11.14%, up to 149. Now, we've seen this happen. You know, we got a cooling off, jump back up, stable, and then further up. So this is a tiered up movement. It did break its previous high because it was holding in that 135 as its high range. You see where the spike was in that 135 range. So this is where we would have called the ceiling before, and it broke through. So we'll take a look at the chart, Darkness Ablaze chart, to see if we can get any kind of ideas on this. But the idea, or typically what you'd want in a situation like this when it hits this new tier, is that it retrace but stay above or at this level. So this would be the new floor. That's what you want in a price action on this chart. That would help indicate that it's a solid new price. If it just spikes up and then drops, let's say, back down to 115 or 120s or something like that, then it didn't hold, and you can expect it to stay back in this previous band. It's not 100% accurate. It's not going to work 100% of the time, but it's one of those things that you can kind of predict a little bit. As always, none of this is financial advice. Anyways, moving on. Fusion Strike still looking good. It's up 109, up to 109 at 5.96% increase this week. Nothing crazy here. Kind of expected this, honestly. It's been a steady Eddie move up. See this? 97, 101, 103, 109, right? Just kind of steady Eddie. It's nice to see it move, though, because 103 seems to be kind of that baseline price, so it's good to see it moving up. I'm happy with my position on that. Lost Origins. Oops, no, sorry, that was last week. There's nothing on Lost Origins. It actually went down $1, but that's like less than 1%. Moving on to Silver Tempest. Now we see a major drop. I noticed this yesterday in the box prices. I don't think it's tied to a drop in the case price. Nope, it's not. 4% up on the case price, which is fine by me. I already got my case, but it's interesting that right now you're seeing the cheap box purchase thing. So if you have a chance to buy the boxes, this may be the time to buy it. It's only $96 versus the 103 to 107 that it has been holding at previously. I'm wondering if people saw the opportunity, the ARB opportunity I was talking about before, with the case where you could buy the case and split the box, and then they just flooded the market with the boxes. So now the prices are dropping, right? That's market dynamics 101. So, anyways, down 9.44%. Pretty good buy opportunity if you're in the market for one. I am not. Vivid Voltage 5.25% down at 127 from the previous high of 135. This is that volatility we talk about. Up, down, up, down. Note 127 is still in the band. Yeah, there's nothing special here. Oh, wait. Nope. No. Let's look back. See, this is where more data helps. So you see how it held back here, 125, 123, 119, shot past, right? Didn't hold, ended up in the 110s, shot past. If this holds, now we're looking at a new tier of pricing, right? So if this is the new low, like 127 to 123 range is the new kind of low, that means the bottom is holding above the previous highs back here. So that would indicate that we're looking at a new pricing tier up to the 135 range, kind of between 120, we'll say 125 and 135 range. So that's very healthy. That's the kind of stuff you want to see, is that kind of tiered up step ladder. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a little stairway is what the chart looks like. So yeah, looking at that, we'll keep an eye on that over time. We won't know until probably next week, because if it continues to decline, then that entire concept is now, delegitimized. If it jumps back up, then we're looking at what I just described, the kind of stairs. So on to cases. Evolving Skies, up 8.05% to 1649 from 1527. This has been another one of those just growing steadily. I'm actually a little sad about this because I almost pulled the trigger on a case of this. There was an ARB opportunity. I don't think it was a lot, but it made me think I should just buy the case to have on the shelf for the long term. And now the case price has jumped. So I imagine a lot of people thought the same thing. Moving on, Fusion Strike, 7.87% up, 639.93 from 593. I can speak about numbers. I can see them, but I can't say them. So 593 has been steady Eddie for quite a while. Now we've just jumped to a new layer. Expect this to retrace. That's what happens. Although cases tend to be, as you can tell by this heat map, right? They tend to be a lot more stable. They go up only a little bit at a time, and they don't crash down as quickly. So it may not retrace. So I will reserve judgment. My normal instinct would say that this would retrace, just because it's been so steady for so long. But we can see in some of these other ones, these price movements don't necessarily revert. Here's a reversion to the mean, but this one did too, but that didn't. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So let's see what happens next week. Pretty interesting, though, that the cases are popping. Lost Origin is an honorable mention at 636.99, up 4.77%. So not worthy of the heat map, but worthy of getting bold. Nothing too crazy there. We talked about that. 14.99 for Rebel Clash is up 11.11%. This is definitely a volatility period here. But it's where it was before. So this is kind of retracing to the mean. It's basically saying this was a nice little discount window, and that window is now closed. We'll see if it drops back down, though, because Rebel Clash is not that popular. You might be wondering what this is. A little bit of economic news. Now, we talked about this last week, how Pokemon put out an announcement saying, we're sorry, supply chain problems are causing difficulty getting product to players and customers. So please bear with us. We're doing everything we can. This is primarily around shipping, from what I recall. And I was listening to something on the radio and some economic news. And this was a stat that they threw out that I had to write down because I thought it was such a relevant fact to this Pokemon shipping issue. This time last year, to get one of those shipping crates, you know what I'm talking about, the kind they have on trains and trucks and such, the big old shipping crates, metal shipping crates, which is how everything is shipped, by the way. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but every major cargo ship, from every European printer to U.S. place to trains to whatever, this is how items move around the world. To get one of those shipping crates last year for a particular run, I forget what it was, but it was relevant. It was $20,000. Right now, $1,400. Now, $1,400 is more real. That's the normal price. But because of all the problems we had last year, it was $20,000 for one of those shipping crates. That's a lot of money versus $1,400. And the fact that it's come down tells you that logistics are getting their stuff back together. Prices and inflation are cooling because this was a major factor in inflation. Imagine every item you buy had to go through one of these crates, and it was paying that much of a premium to move from one place to the other. Of course there was inflation, right? It makes total sense. And that was, if you listen to some of my other economic rants, we were talking about this before, how logistics was a huge chunk of the inflation rate. It was caused by COVID and this and that. For a while, that was true. Now that's not true. Inflation is actually, it looks like, primarily driven by corporate profit seeking. So they're extensive excess, actually, profits, I would say. And that seems to be what was going on back then. But now you can see it's not logistics anymore because it only costs $1,400 to ship. Granted, there's a lot of other details that go into this, but just thought that was an interesting fact and hopefully has an impact on the Pokemon shipping situation that we were talking about last week where they said, we're sorry and we're doing the best we can. Hopefully they'll be able to do pretty good with that now that the prices are coming down on that. So something to keep in mind. Let's get into the charts. All right. Sword and Shield, you can't do any ARB here because there's still no cases available. Moving on. Actually, hold up real quick. I just want to look at that chart. Let's see if there's anything noteworthy. Nope, just Steady Eddie down at the bottom where it was. Interesting. 220 seems to be the base set price. Rebel Clash still has its premium intact. In fact, it's expanded this week from 215 to between 215 and 250. So nothing crazy there. And Darkness Ablaze. So we do have a minor ARB opportunity here of $20 a box. So if you buy a case of Darkness Ablaze, which I would expect to go up, considering we've seen this pattern before where the box price climbs and then the case follows. You can make, was it 120? Yeah, 120 bucks if you take a case and crack it and sell the boxes, assuming all these prices hold steady, which is a big question mark. Now, granted, with shipping being probably about $15 a box, unless you have some sort of shipping organization or deal, you're not really making about $5 a box, right? So you got to take that into account if you're thinking about doing this arbitrage opportunities here. Anyways, moving on to Vivid Voltage, we have a minor premium coming into play. This will be fun to watch because they are dancing with each other over here, which gives you a sense that, one given week you might get a great ARB opportunity with some crash or spike, that does happen. Battle Styles, oh my goodness, it is complete parity. That is as tight as I've seen them. Chilling Rain. All right, now we have an ARB opportunity of $3, not worth anything, but interesting to see that the box prices, as we talked about, are going up. Cases are steady. Here's like the step ladder I was talking about, up and steady, right? And that's something we want to keep an eye out on some of these, especially some of the older ones that seem to be having some volatility. Moving on, Evolving Skies. Just hit parity. Interesting. Case prices jumped. Here's another one. Steady down here, moves up. Steady here, moves up. I think because of the speed of this move, we'll probably see it retrace, but I'm not 100% sure, like I said. It is interesting to see that the box price spike preceded the case move up, right? And then the boxes catch up, and then the box price proceeds, and then, the case price catches up, and then they hit parity. So the markets here are very tightly knit, which makes sense because volume's very possible and there's a lot of people selling and moving Pokemon products. So it does make sense that these markets react to these opportunities much quicker and much easier than a lot of places. Let's see, Fusion Strike. All right. So interestingly, this one's a different pattern altogether. So you've had with Fusion Strike a arbitrage opportunity of a few dollars, like $5 for a long time. And then in tandem, box prices and case prices move up, maintaining a $3 arbitrage opportunity. I'm wondering if some of this is about the MSRP thing. I know that's been the hot news going around right now. And with MSRP going up, we might see that happening across the board. So maybe anything that you want from this set might be better to get it now than wait. I did hear there's supposed to be a reprint. I want to say it was Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, and Brilliant Stars. I believe that's what I heard. Now, take it as total rumor because it's not confirmed. No one knows for sure. But with the way things are going, logistics, printers, all the rest, I don't know that I would hold my breath on anything. But if we get a reprint, we'll see it in the charts, I'm sure, because the prices will come back down. Also, this logistics thing messes it up because if there's a ton of product but it doesn't get out because it can't get through shipping systems, it may be months and months and months. I believe the last big reprint that we saw was 6 months after it was supposed to come out. So you got to understand that it could be months and months, and that just is how it is. Pokemon's very careful about how they manage their infusions of product into the market. So you got to respect it and just kind of go with the flow of actual capital in the space. What was that? All right, yeah. Moving on to Brilliant Stars. No ARB opportunity here. Premium is intact. Very odd chart. I wonder what caused all these cases to go up like that while the boxes were down. Very odd. Interesting. It must be some pool in there. Is there a pool in that in Brilliant Stars? Interesting. Yeah, I wonder if that's what it is. Or maybe this is the didn't get the reprint situation. That could be it. That would explain cases going up but boxes staying stable. So they were supplying the market, but then people couldn't get it from distro or whatever, right? So then, secondary market goes up. Makes sense. Let me know in the comments if you know. Astral Radiance. All right, minor ARB opportunity here. Looks like, what was that, $8? Yeah, a little bit less. Yeah. That's fine. Astral Radiance. Moving on. All these ones are recent, so I just don't trust that there won't be a reprint. $6 ARB opportunity here. So let's go back real quick. ARB all the way back to 8 and 7. It didn't maintain it, but it tries to. So this looks like the transition chart to premium being locked in. No locked in there. Yeah, but it does look like the transition chart, doesn't it? Interesting patterns and a parity all the way back there. Anyways, sorry, just looking at some patterns across multiple products to get an idea, a sense of how these things roll out. We'll have much more data going forward and we'll know much better with a data-driven basis. So anyways, what are we on now? Lost Origins. Yeah, we've talked about Lost Origins. Great deal for a while. It is less so now, and it probably won't be for much longer just because product keeps moving. There is a good chance that we get a reprint on that one, though, so I wouldn't get too excited yet. And then Silver Tempest, we are seeing a premium up here, which is really, I would say, early for that, but I'm guessing a lot of products post-release have a similar chart pattern to this. As we watch more and more releases, we'll get a sense of that. But my guess is that you get this chaos in the beginning where everyone wants boxes, right? So you have the release hype premium, and then you have the drop down, and then you probably have it kind of stabilize in a place where the cases will drop after this, and then it stabilizes in a situation. All the while slowly ticking upwards to keep it within the normal ranges of like 103 a box. So anyways, that's the charts for today. I hope you enjoyed this this content. If you did, hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know what I can do better, if there's other things you would like to see or hear. With Flesh and Blood, I go into some of the cards, but I really don't know Pokemon cards that well. So I'm not sure that I would add any value there, but maybe there's something else I can do as a segue between the charts and the heat map. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this, just let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. Like I said, we're testing this for about a month. If it's overwhelmingly disliked or not viewed or whatever, we'll kill the segment and look for something else to do. But in the meantime, we're going to keep doing it for 2 more weeks at least, and then we'll assess. All right. Well, I hope you guys are having a good day, cracking packs, enjoying games, and collecting and doing all the things we love about this hobby. And until next time, have a good one.